Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, all. It's Bear here. And I'd like to welcome you to my YouTube channel, aboxwithnolid, a channel I've created to not only delve into the lived realities or bring awareness of the lived realities trauma creates, but also to get into the mechanisms and understanding them and using this knowledge to create and build foundations for healing and improving the quality of your and our lives. Now, this video, yes, it is a response to a question, but I also want to delve more into an in-depth understanding of ecologies. And just a little heads up, some questions that people ask in the comments or by email, I will create videos for, because this is this interaction that I want to create. And it shows me the areas that all of you out there are looking to get a greater understanding in. Now, when we look at ecologies and understanding why they're so important, well, we respond to ecologies. We're designed to. From the very point of conception, past the first trimester, there's a whole bunch of hormones in your mother's response, crossing the placenta, shaping the development of many aspects of your physiology and the development of your body to respond and adapt to the environment you're going to be born into. And this mechanism expands over and over again as we develop to where we're born. And then in the first environments, pre-verbal, again, this layer of development to how our body is designed to gather information from the environment around us, what we're physically experiencing. This is why I refer to ecologies, not because it's an indigenous understanding, which it is, but it's we're designed to. And so much of the Western approach to working with trauma is verbal. It's reading books or it's verbal, it's talking, it's purely cognitive. And we don't really pay a lot of attention to what our body is learning, is picking up from, and is assessing. And I want to try to bring the awareness and change that, because the majority of our response to trauma is in our body. The majority of cognitive interactions, verbal interactions in trying to help, particularly with complex trauma and pre-verbal trauma, don't touch the actual traumatic responses. But our environment does. And our environment is made up of all different ecologies interacting with each other. Now, when we start to look at how to understand ecologies, this is where it can get a little complicated just because of the amount of information and potential. So I find breaking it down into all these little ecologies, these little groups of living things interacting, creating a part of your environment that you are interacting with and responding to. And looking at ways, in particular ways around supporting our day-to-day life, of altering these ecologies where we're able to bring in things to help us bring a base to heal. That is why ecologies are so important, because it allows us to add things in, to take some things out, and to play around with getting an ecology that supports us in particular parts of our lives. In previous videos, that's why I've gone with asking yourself the question of what do I need to heal? What do I need to be able to do this task? What do I need to be able to face this? It's understanding all these different things that you can bring into your ecologies, your day-to-day environment that can support you, that can support your autonomic responses, as in graze eating and like I said in the last video, of making yourself, your body, teaching your body to assess your present environment. It's ways of incorporating, okay, if you're working with a therapist, their ideas, how can you talk with people that are in your immediate world to make that a lived experience that can be repeated over and over again so that your body can absorb this information and make the changes. Because that's what all this is about. It is teaching our body to assess the now environment and to learn ways of responding and coping with the now, and processing the traumatic experiences into memory, into the past. And also teaching our nervous system and our threat responses to re-regulate to a more appropriate, a more balanced homeostatic norm. And the only way we're going to do that is physically immersing ourselves into different environments. Hence the ecologies. We can create and influence the environments we're in to better support our healing. Now, some ideas that you can take to put into these ecologies. Remember, everyone is individual, everyone is different. So these are only suggestions. But as I said in previous videos, graze eating and constantly assessing your physical presence, your physical environment now, and answering the questions of what are you perceiving as a threat is one. Another is when people have ideas about how to heal a connection, think about how you can incorporate it into a physical experience. And what I mean by that, okay, one of the easiest suggestions that I've used for years with people in an attempt to explain this, if you are petrified of speaking, public speaking in any format, if you went 50 miles from where you live to a town and to a place that has karaoke, and stone cold sober got up and sang a few songs with people that you've never met, don't know you, and you'll never have to go there again, it is far easier to face that fear in that environment than it is to wait to the putting a presentation to a board. It's creating ways of safely playing things out to where you can find how you're going to respond, and putting other things or take some things out to get those responses where you need them, and keep them as simple as you can. You know, there are numerous ways we can influence the environment around us. You know, one of the ways I work with a lot is rituals and prayers, because of my beliefs and because of the limitations that I have with what I can interact with. So I explore processing emotions through prayers and offerings to different, deities or different, relatives. And I communicate and talk with them, and it allows me to access the blocks that I have, the issues that come to the surface, and it makes me at the very least aware of what I need to work with. You know, as I said, there are so many ways we can work with our environments, and there are so many techniques out there, but it's the thing of bringing it into a functional ecology, all these little living interactions that create an environment that enables you to move forward, to be more productive, and to take the actual physical steps of creating real change. This is what I mean by ecologies. And you can take them down to the smallest detail, or you can expand them out to really vast sizes as well, which is something that I have a habit of doing. But as I said, for in the beginning, look at each hour. Just take it by 1 hour at a time in a day. Look at the environment that you're interacting with in an hour. Look at the people, the associations, and what you're required to do. And look at how all the things around you are playing together, interacting together, creating how you feel and how you respond. And then once you spend a bit of time doing this and you start to get a handle on how to look at this, look at all these little things that you can place in or take out to make that work better for you. Always be considerate, especially if you're living in or working in environments with other people, of other people's situations and needs. But you can find a balance. And that's what this is all about, is finding a balance to create enough of a supportive living ecologies. All these different ecologies everywhere you go. that support and tell your body that you are safe and you are able to do this. You are able and you are supported in doing this, and you have the resources to do this. And you will 100% hit a point where your body will start to purge and release and convert those traumatic experiences stored in your body into memories. And at that stage, the triggers and all that start to reduce, and you're able to start to learn how to connect and how to interact and how to build more functionality and more prosperity into your life. This, in a nutshell, is really all healing is. And it's taking the knowledge that we learn from myself, therapists, practitioners, books, people, the world around us, what we watch. I get a lot of information and I explore a lot of things in the movies and shows that I watch. It allows you to observe theoretical, interactions, to go, well, what is this bringing up in me? It's all about learning you. It's all about learning your responses and your understandings and how you respond to the environment around you so you can make the changes that you need to. I really hope this answers the question that I was asked, but I also really hope this is helpful to all of you out there. So as always, I enjoy your comments and love your feedback, and I will always do my best to respond. Please be safe, please be kind, please be gentle, and I'll see you next time. Hope.